Here I present to you Sacha with some updates and important information. So take a listen to.
Hey friends. So in the first instance, I need to apologize for having been absent for a number of weeks from social media, made little to no posts at all, other than bouncing on some of the memes that I was asked to by a social media team. Very remiss of me, and I do that from time to time. I forget that there's a certain expectation out there by some quarters that I do speak occasionally on what it is that we're getting up to within the ecosystem. So let me try to reconcile and start to go online every day or every couple of days at least to do a little update, because a hell of a lot is happening. I have been and continue to be under a siege in a very beautiful and powerful way. So no complaints there, but I am pretty fucking exhausted, I'll say that much. I'm actually right now on the banks of Bacala Laguna. We have about 20 souls in the villa next door to this one. They're all attending the retreat center right now. We've just kicked off yesterday one of my New Earth retreats. It's a full week-long immersion, and Dave Emery is on the big screen speaking to the team, to the crew there, doing a workshop. Yesterday, we had a beautiful first day of the retreat. We kicked off, did George H. Lewis, our bestie astrologist, came in for a couple of hours and did the most incredible kind of summary overview of not only the state of the play, the state of the world, but addressed pretty much everyone in the room and every star sign and what it means right now to be focused on astrology, on numbers, on the geometry of the existential crisis facing each one of us. It was so powerful. And after a couple of hours of that, synthesized that all into kind of redemption, salvation, where the planet is, where we're at. So we're going to release that piece because I think, and the Q&A after that was so powerful that I think that it's worthy of actually just putting that out on social media. So we are going to edit that and release it. And we're going to do that with a few of the workshops that we're doing this week. We have right now Dave Emery addressing kind of the archaeo-cosmogenetic side of things, but going into also claiming sovereignty and who are you in the now, and how do we navigate the shit show. This is the usual shtick that I've been speaking about as well. How do we navigate the chaos storm that is upon us, psycho-civilizationally, at the cultural level, at the community level, at the individual level. Each one of us is being met with an apocalypse within the, let's say, within the atom seed of who we are as the living witness. Most of us are kind of fucking up and dropping balls and taking the left fork in the road and defaulting into old patterns which are Atlantean and are very dangerous and very destructive. But at the same time, this is the crucible within which each of us are required to forge the steel of the new angelic indigo human, as Dave Emery would put it. So powerful stuff when it comes to addressing the alchemy of your life and your expression, and why the proverbial fuck you chose to steer yourself into this plane of existence in the first place. This is the only question that matters, whilst we're not being kind of transfixed or psyoped or mind-fucked into false light, which is like what's happening out there, trying to take us away from this primal inquisition that we should be turning the lens to ourselves and asking, why did I steer my soul into this temporal plane? What is my highest embodiment? What is my highest dharma? How can I be of utmost service to the Godhead, and so on and so forth, and find true relevancy in that way? So we're all of us dashing around seeking relevancy, and that's where the ego comes in, that's where the false light comes in, and we keep banging and crashing and burning into life, into the geometry of life, into relationships, into circumstances, because we are consistently putting our attention on the false light and not grounding and doing the immanent activation that requires steadfastness, it requires integrity, it requires inner focus, it requires anchoring into the here and the now. So that's what this week is all about for the people attending this retreat, is essentially pull it back to the living witness, the I am. Breathe deep, know your true immanence, take on your mantle of perfection, your beautiful, divine, galactic ermine gown. Take it upon your shoulders, wear that mantle, allow yourself to be crowned and enthroned in the true light, not the false light, not the blah blah, the real thing. And that's real alchemy. So we're getting on with it. It's beautiful. The frequency we struck yesterday was so high. I'm so thrilled. Even from 5 years ago, four odd years ago, 4.5 years ago, when I did my first Mexican retreat in Isla Mujeres, the frequency here is so much higher. It's palpable to everyone. And I guess that's a litmus, in a sense, of the whole of humanity. I always take our demographic, I think the constituents of the New Earth Project or the New Earth Initiative, the New Earth Movement. I always regard any group collective as being the kind of planetary litmus. So what to say? I'm thrilled that 4 or 5 years later, we are dialing up. And it's a beautiful thing. Santos Bonacci is coming in also to do a workshop on syncretism and all the incredible magic that man weaves. Jane Evershed, I believe, Scott McKay is joining us tonight. And then Jane Evershed, I believe, tomorrow. Then Santos Bonacci. Laura Eisenhower will be joining us as well. My beloved friend, who I was just with in San Rafael in California at the New Life Expo there. And we're going into the jungles, I think day after tomorrow, to explore, don't ask me the unpronounceable names of the particular jungle pyramids we're going to go and see. But that's an extensive day trip, which we'll do. I'm going to be filming some of that, and I'll chime some of it up on social media. I think it's tomorrow that we are going on. We've got a beautiful catamaran boat coming, and we'll be going on that catamaran. I think all 20 or 25 of us all in will be piling onto that and heading down the laguna to the New Earth land holdings. We've got 2 land holdings in particular. The most beautiful one is a stunning beach swimming experience. We'll go there, have a Mayan picnic of sorts, and I'll be doing some filming. And if I can get online, I'll also send some beautiful media drops of that. And then we're going to go and visit the Star Fort as well, because there's a Star Fort here in Bacalar in Quintana Roo, which is the Mayan Riviera. And the Star Fort is very much totemistic of much of what I'm talking about in my spiel, because every evening after dinner, I get to Q&A and talk with on the big screen, share my own stories and share incredible photographs and forensic evidences of titans and giants and dragons and winged serpents and UFOs and anti-gravitational technologies and all of that magical, wonderful stuff that is kind of sequestered out of the mainstream, but is very much a part of my own backstory with my Foundation Humanitad and the kind of backroom diplomacy stuff I've been up to. So in these private retreats, I share that kind of information, which I will never put onto social media for obvious reasons. Not just to protect myself, but also to protect others that I'm showing on the screen when we talk about some of the dragon families, dragon bloods, white hats, and so on. In any event, exciting stuff, and it's all just connected to this beautiful symphony of disclosure and of truth and of affirmation. That's always the word I default on right now, because it comes down to this. I'm seeing increasingly in life with everyone around me, friends, family, loved ones, I'm seeing it's coming down to this. Either we choose consciously to lean in and affirm to every minute, every moment, and seize life in that sense by the horns. Probably a bad analogy there, but you know what I mean. Lean into it and affirm it and breathe it in and say, I'm not a victim of circumstance. I'm not a victim of anything. My life is perfect right here, right now. Whatever's in front of me, whatever circumstance I find myself in, this is what I called in. And it's a beautiful thing. And only once I can truly ground myself in the existential bliss of this living experience, whatever it is, only then can I dial the game up to the next level, and transmute, transcend, and then start to invoke and conjure in another outcome, a higher experiential outcome. So that's life 101. That's the wisdom flame 101, which most motherfuckers in the world are too intoxicated into our silly, false light and our idolatry and our fucking, addictions and our silly appetites. We all have them, we all have them. But are we led by that dragon within us? In which case, we'll come back again and again into the same dissatisfaction until we realize the perfection in the living moment and be so grateful for it and so affirmative. And in any event, that for me is the big lesson of life. It's the big lesson of the apocalypse. It's the big lesson of certainly my life's journey. And I'm embracing that inertia, that momentum. I wanted to share that with you because I lead otherwise a very sedentary, secluded life, other than the fact that I've got a group of people who've come down for this week. But I'll be around in Mexico for the next month, thereabouts, just focusing again on the New Earth Exchange and rolling that forward. We had a number of hiccups since we launched. All were expected, incidentally, with the status quo coming at us. And payment gateways being blocked and servers being threatened and DOS attack, the usual kind of shittery that you expect when you're launching something that goes so deeply against the grain of the Babylonian matrix system. But all to be expected. We've dealt with it all. We had, those obstacles become a refinement of the lens through which we see our mission and our vision and carry it forward. And thank God in the last 24 hours, over all those humps, back on track, and we've dialed up again. So stay tuned and pay close attention to newearthx.com, to the emergence of the Ghost Wallet, which is moving and coming out. Again, shipments were blocked. Surprise, surprise. In most countries around the world, our New Earth X Ghost Wallet and anything connected to that was blocked at the customs and sent back, right? Which is why we've been running late in delivering on some of them around the world. Now we've created a bypass where we are shipping wholesale to individual fulfillment agents in different countries, and they then send on in their country where there's no further customs impediment. But this is the cock blocking that happens when you are introducing or trying to create fulfillment and shipping of things that are moving directly against the satanic status quo. On top of that, we received what you call black notices. These are kind of military intelligence, cabal issued black notices threatening death and destruction upon us and our families if we continue and don't take our servers down and don't immediately cease and desist from moving against the existing system. So we had to deal with all of that, which we did beautifully. And I will make that public. I will absolutely make that public. And any of you cabal motherfuckers listening in, lean in very hard because it's coming back at you. The fire that you sent is on its way back, okay? That's all you'll hear from me as the living man. But going back to my wonderful, enlightened audience, thank you for your kind attention to this meme. Again, I will do my best to get back in the saddle on social media. I apologize for the last couple of months being so remiss. You can expect daily reports for the rest of the week whilst we're doing this retreat here. And in the meantime, please do go to newearthx.com. And I will also go the extra mile and actually start to read all comments on Instagram, on this platform, only this platform. I will read all comments and I will answer to them. Okay? So if there are any questions, I will start to have some kind of interaction there with audience. And wish you all a blessed, blessed, blessed day.
As always, everything you see on the screen, take with a grain of salt. Always research and question everything. Thank you for watching.